Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Jacob, med student out of Kansas City, and today we're going to be talking about how to nail your MMI, or multiple mini interview. The MMI is essentially a multi-part interview where you're rotating around different stations, reading and answering a prompt with an interviewer. Initially, you're presented with a prompt and you typically get between 2 and 3 minutes to read it over and think of your response. You will then move to another section where you're presented with your interviewer and you'll respond to the prompt. The different prompts that you're going to be responding to during your MMI can vary depending upon the program that you're applying to, but they typically have the same basic structure. You will typically have 1 or 2 generalized questions about the specific program or field that you're applying into. It's likely that you're also going to have to assess different ethical situations as well as speak to your strengths and your weaknesses. Different programs, in particular medical and law schools, like the MMI format because the different prompts gives them a chance to see the kind of experiences that have helped develop you into the person that you are today, and it gives them a sense of the type of person that you might become while in their program. In this video today, we're going to cover the basics of the MMI and talk about each individual components and how to nail them. The first major component of the MMI, and the one that you have to be going in expecting to be able to talk about, is the one that pertains to your particular program that you're applying to. For me, that was medical school, so there were certainly questions that were asking me about why I wanted to become a physician and my past experiences that show them that I'm passionate about the field of medicine. This is one of the most common questions that's always included in MMIs, so it's certainly a good idea to come prepared with at least an outline of the things that you want to talk about or the experiences that you've had in your life that show the program that not only are you interested in the field that you're applying for, but the program itself. Because this question is so general, you can really take it in a lot of different directions. What you're trying to convey when answering this prompt is putting forward your passion for what you're applying for, giving proof with your past experiences that show that you're interested in the subject matter, and showing the program and the people that are interviewing you that you are the best applicant for the spot. The next category that I want to talk about are the ethics questions. You are almost guaranteed to get at least 1 or 2 ethics questions in your MMI. The important thing to realize about these prompts, and the thing that I think people forget often, is that there truly are no right or wrong answers. What they are trying to see is that you can think through a problem, come up with a solution, and back up your decision making. They will try to get you with follow-up questions to change your mind, and what you really need to do is stick to your guns and continue to back yourself up. For example, during my medical school interview several years ago, I was presented with a prompt where I was supposed to envision myself in the role of a medical student who was rotating with a surgeon who was visibly drunk when walking into the operating room. They wanted to know what you would do in that situation and how you would back up your decision making. When I was presented with this prompt during my interview, I went with the obvious answer of reporting the physician to a higher authority. They then will proceed to follow up with different questions that are trying to lessen your confidence in your decision making by saying, what if this physician is a close family friend of yours that you know well? What if he's a well-respected member of the community? Or what if something tragic happened in his life that is forcing him to do this? What you ultimately need to do is stick to your decision and continue to back yourself up. I did this by saying that regardless of what the surgeon is going through, he was exhibiting unprofessional behavior and endangering patients' life. By doing this, I was able to convey to my interviewer that I could make an ethically and morally correct decision that was in line with the values of my given program without being swayed by minor details, and that's ultimately what you want to do when presented with this kind of prompt. The next category that I want to focus on that comes up a lot in MMIs is talking about your strengths and weaknesses. So when you're discussing this prompt with your interviewer, make sure that you're not just listing off that you're hardworking, you're dedicated, and you can manage your time well. Provide some substance and some real-world examples that can prove that to them, and also show how you can apply those strengths to the program and make yourself a real asset. Similarly, when you're discussing your weaknesses, don't simply just list them off. And for each individual weakness, make sure you provide examples on how you're currently working to better yourself and how you can improve in the future if you are accepted into their program. One category in the MMI that I experienced that may not be included in each MMI is a group activity. We were paired up with other students who were applying for the same positions that we were. We were faced back to back and had one student be given a sheet full of pictures and the other student be given a blank sheet. It was the student who had the sheet with pictures on its job in order to relay how to draw these images to the student with the blank sheet. After about 5 minutes, the roles were reversed, and now the student who was just drawing is now the one who is giving the information to the other student with a new sheet of pictures. The issue with this sort of activity is that I feel like a lot of students misinterpret its purpose. They believe that the quality and the number of the images that they're able to draw in the set amount of time is more important than showcasing their communication skills, both with giving information and receiving information, which is the true purpose of this activity. They are looking for someone who does not get frustrated or easily flustered when presented with a group activity like this. It also gives them insight into how someone is going to work in a group of students. Personally, I believe the group activities are some of the easier ones to deal with in an MMI, because as long as you're able to showcase your communication skills and not get frustrated with the other person, they shouldn't have anything negative to say about you on this one. The last type of prompt that I think comes up commonly in MMIs is forcing you to discuss a challenge or a period of adversity that you've had to go through in your life. The purpose of this activity is for them to get an idea of how you've handled challenges in the past and how you can take what you've learned from those and apply it to the potential struggles that you might face in a challenging program in the future. So whatever challenge or example of adversity that you're going to talk about with them, make sure that it's something that you can take and relate to the program itself so that you can prove to them that this was a meaningful experience for you and that you're going to take what you've learned and use it with their program. Overall, the best way to prepare for an MMI is to practice. So go online, look up practice questions, have somebody ask them to you, and get some good feedback from your responses. Interviews like these can certainly be intimidating, but if you come prepared with the knowledge of what to expect and you've practiced a little bit, you'll come across much more confident. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video on mastering the MMI. I'll see you next time.